Hey everybody, it's James here from the Sawyer Family Reviews channel, and today I'm bringing you a new monstrous review of the Mad Monster Party Baron figure from Diamond Select Toys. Let's take a look at it. Let's start it up by looking at the packaging for the Baron. So Diamond Select Toys does the same kind of packaging on a lot of their lines, where they do this big giant clamshell bubble thing and then a wraparound piece of cardboard that's for their standard lines. Now, when they did stuff for Toys R Us and they did like Ghostbusters releases there or Universal Monsters releases there, they did these more slim cards where it's just a bubble on a card back. And that's the way it is for all three Mad Monster Party figures. That's the only way they were released, is like this. There was no giant deluxe versions or anything like that. So we've got a carded figure. We've got Mad Monster Party logo there. The Baron name down below on the insert with some tombstones. A picture of the Baron puppet, the figure carded inside. And on the back of the card, we see all three figures in the line with a write-up on each one of them. Since this is Baron, we're just going to look at his. Baron. From his castle on the Isle of Evil, Baron Boris von Frankenstein acts as the head of the worldwide organization of monsters. But his latest scientific discovery is even more horrifying, the power of total destruction. To celebrate his new formula, he invites all of his monstrous colleagues to the Isle for a convention and sets in motion plans for his retirement. We've got the Diamond Select logo, looking for a few good monsters, Mad Monster Party logo. And that is it. Let's get him out of there. Okay, we've got Baron out of the box. Let's talk about what he comes with first. We've got a Mad Monster Party base that's included. It's hollow on the underside. It's got a nice brick pattern and the really cool Mad Monster Party logo up front. The only bummer about this base is that it's just a base. There's no pegs to peg in the figure, no clip or anything like that. It's just a solid piece of plastic that you put under the figure. The figure does stand on its own, but I've got it on this base because I don't want to take a chance of knocking it over during the review. Because this figure is expensive now. These are from 2012, and we'll get into this more later on, but it's a tough figure to find, and I really don't want to take a chance of knocking it down and breaking it. So I've got it on this stand, so I would just sit this stand on top of that when I have him on display so he doesn't want to fall over on his own. So there is the base. Then he comes with his little furry, spidery pal that's in the movie later on when he's taking Felix around the lab. You see this little fuzzball, and it pops out eyes and legs. It's kind of a spidery fuzzball creature with 6 legs. He's super cute. No articulation. He's just kind of on his own. And then he comes with the vial from the movie. This kind of a main plot point of the movie where he creates ultimate destruction. So this is in his little plier things, and then the vial itself you can push through, and it can come out of there. I'm not going to take it out right now, but you could push it all the way through and take the actual vial out, and then that clips just kind of works into his right hand. I'll bet you could put the vial in his left hand. I am going to take it all the way out. Let's see if we can get that in his left hand. Yeah, so you can just hold the vial by itself in his left hand. So there are the accessories. Let's talk about his articulation, and then we're going to get into the figure itself. So I'm going to take him off of the stand here. There's not a lot of articulation on these guys. They're more display things than they are to, play around with and have all these joints and stuff. They're supposed to look like the puppets too, so you wouldn't want to interrupt the sculpts with a bunch of joints here and there. So he's got swivel at the waist. It's not a lot of movement. It's just a little bit of back and forth. It is pretty tight, which is nice, so those legs aren't spinning around on you. Then we've got rotation at the shoulders, and they do hinge out a little bit. We've got rotation at the wrists where they plug into the arms, and then just a little swivel at the neck, and that gets restricted by the sculpt. So again, you're not looking for a ton of articulation on this guy. He's not going to be pulling off Spider-Man poses or something like that. He's just kind of there to stand on your shelf and look cool. Now, the design and paintwork on the figure, to me, are excellent. This looks a lot like the puppet from Mad Monster Party. I'm a big fan of Mad Monster Party. My kids have grown up being big fans of Mad Monster Party. Gracie, who's my youngest, she's really into it right now. We've got a collection of those Funko, like, squeezy, I don't know what they call them. They're Funko, like, almost Soakies or something, where they made 8 Mad Monster Party characters, and she loves those things. But those are just kind of fun play with things, and I think the Diamond Selects really tried to capture the look of the puppets in the film and they did a great job. Like, this face sculpt is great. I could almost see it like moving, you know what I mean? Like from the film where the stop motion puppet would have had movement in the jaw and the eyebrows and stuff like that. But the sculpt is just top notch. And the paintwork's really cool too. So one of the things in the movie, you could see like all this damage on the Baron's lab coat, and all that's replicated here, both in paint and then in sculpted detail, where that's like torn up, that's torn up there. And then you see little details here where it's got like the pocket watch chain. It's just a really well done sculpt with a very nice paint job that evokes that puppet feel. Looks like all those Rankin and Bass puppets looked like. He's really awesome. Really, really cool sculpt. He's my favorite of the three in the line. Height-wise, he stands, most Diamond Select figures are 7 inches, and these are no different. He stands at 7 inches tall, which seems kind of big, though, for this kind of character. Like, I don't know why. I would just think figures of these would be smaller at a 7-inch scale, almost like the Muppets figures or something, where they'd be smaller because it's little puppets. But these are built at a 7-inch scale, so it's supposed to be the characters themselves are, you know, the height of what this character would be, not what the puppet would be. I'm curious what size these puppets were to see how close these are in size to the actual puppets, because that's what it kind of feels like. It almost feels like a prop replica of the puppet. Man, very cool figure. Now, these were released way back in 2012, so this is 2021 that I'm doing this review. I'm a little late, but these are expensive now. These are like $100 plus figures each. So all 3 figures are going to set you back quite a bit to get all 3 of the set. And you probably can't even make those out in there. I'll put them further back. So to get all 3 characters that they made in this line is going to cost you now. So I will say, though, it's the best Mad Monster Party figures ever made, because it's pretty much the only Mad Monster Party action figures ever made. Like I said, there's those Funko, like, squeezy, soaky type guys, and those are fun, but they didn't make the Baron. They made the Count, and they made Fang, and they made some other characters too. They made Francesca. Nobody made Felix, which is crazy to me. But they made a lot more characters in that line, but they're not as accurate to the movie as these are. So if you're looking for accurate Mad Monster Party stuff, these Diamond Select toys are the way to go. They are really dead on the way the puppets looked in the movie. Now, the bummer of it is that they did only make these 3 characters. I really, really wish Diamond Select would have made a second wave of these, because I would have loved to have gotten Felix and Francesca. The creature would have been really cool. It's just a really fun movie with a lot of fun designs. So I would have loved for this line to have been like their Universal Monsters line, where they really went deep and did a ton of stuff. But unfortunately, they just did the one wave and that was it. I guess maybe they didn't sell well. These originally retailed, I think, at $25. And looking at the quality on them, that's a really good price. They're really good price for these. I wish I would have bought more than one set, because they're great figures. It's just a shame that we only got one wave. The only drawback I can see in the figures themselves is this stand thing. They are top-heavy figures. Like, he's standing pretty well on his own. I just wouldn't want to trust these skinny legs over time of him supporting himself. But other than that, I love these figures. I think they're fantastic. Yes, they are expensive now, but if you can find a deal, they're worth picking up. I hope you enjoyed this review. So we've been doing those Batman animated reviews, and now they've announced that DC Collectibles is coming back with McFarlane. And I know this is no interest to somebody that's watching this just for a monster review, but I'm taking a break on those just until we see what's happening with DC Collectibles and the animated line, because I think it might be better to do those reviews as those figures are coming back than it will be to continue on while there's nothing happening. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of monster reviews, starting with this Mad Monster Party guy, and then we're going to do some Sideshow 12-inch, some Sideshow 8-inch, the Toy Island Universal Monsters. That's my plan. You know, my plans are crazy on here. I do a lot of planning, and then I don't follow through all the way all the time. But that's my plan, is to do some of those reviews. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and notify. Leave a comment down below what you thought about Mad Monster Party and what you think about these figures. And I'll talk to you guys next time.